Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, what's up? Oh, we're
Okay,
starting the
bet.
podcast now. Welcome to the podcast, everybody.
Perfect.
If I
I was
have
gonna say
free time in the morning, there will be an intro here. Uh,
most likely. We're just gonna
I don't
have
know about
to
that,
get
but
into
like it's
it.
50-50. Like
Yeah, I can see it happening.
yeah.
I was gonna say we're just gonna be rambling to. No, we're not. We're not gonna be
Yeah.
rambling. But
Yeah.
let's just talk, man. It's gonna be a reset.
Yeah,
As
this
we were
is
saying,
I feel like the last 2 months of episodes, like ever since Lollapalooza, it's just been like
heavy.
a gauntlet, right? Which is
Yes.
cool because like on one end, like it makes making a podcast easier, like to have a
Right.
lot happening, because like we didn't have to spend any time thinking about like what we're gonna talk about the next week.
Right. We were already
Eh,
ready. We can jump right into it. We
which
can
to
start the
me is the
research.
most stressful part of this whole thing.
I
Uh,
agree.
the heavier schedule we've been doing, like it makes it easier, but like it also burns you out a little bit.
It does.
Like it definitely is nice to take a break and just completely reset, completely vibe.
It's an interesting thing that you brought that up because, like, that's one thing I was thinking about the other day. Do not get me wrong, love the podcast, love doing the podcast, but there definitely is an aspect where, like, everything we talk about now is hip hop, and
Yeah,
so it's nice to like actually be like, okay, let's take a sit back, let's like talk about where we've been, where we're going, like the thoughts we have on everything, how we view hip hop now, and just like there's a ton of news and there's like conversations just like we just can throw on the podcast.
yeah,
We bring in the community with like where our heads are.
yeah. And like personally, I'm not too upset about it. But yeah, you're right. It's a lot of just like the same. It becomes content at that point. And don't get me wrong,
Hmm.
I enjoy making content. But
And this is
like,
what we did naturally anyway.
yeah, like yeah, it's not. That's like the thing I think is probably the thing I like the most about the show is that I, as much as like the deep dives and everything get away from us and we just love doing it, it's still a very natural outgrowth of just like the conversations we would have.
Mm.
We just wouldn't be so structured. But like, I definitely think there's benefits to the structure because it allows us to focus in.
Yes.
You
I was
know?
gonna say like just like having more structure based on conversations, I feel like the actual depth of where we could go has significantly increased. Because like typically in the past, you share a tweet or two that you see to each other. We kind of talk about it briefly and then we move on. But like I feel like this has been a positive creative outlet where like I'm about to finish school, like everything that I'm doing, like my head's always running. Like I was literally texting one of my friends today, and just like I said, like a short paragraph that like almost seemed like I was typing a paper, and it's just like, wow, I really need to like get done with school, and
Yeah.
like this is like an extra layer where it's like, okay, this is me like able to like be professional, think deeply, and like actually analyze something in a fun way, not in a way of like, oh, let's talk about business strategy.
Yeah. No, it's such a nice outlet, especially because like for me, a lot of my creative outlets have always like doubled back and just basically are writing. That's basically what they are.
Mm.
Like everything I like to do is just writing in different forms, whether that be for my career, whether that be fiction, for like little movies, and like for my comedy, all that stuff. It's all just different forms of writing. This is different for me.
Hmm.
So just being able to talk off the cuff, have conversations, it scratches a different itch, and like I feel like on one end sometimes it feels like a sport, but like a sport I want to play. Like yeah, it kind of like tires me out, but I enjoy it. I enjoy like putting in the critical thought because I think it makes it sharper. It's like a workout in a way for your
Yeah,
brain.
for your brain,
Yeah,
literally.
but like some days, and I think like this is going to be one of those days. It's almost like a pressure relief. You know,
Hmm.
like I'm sure you've had times where you go and work out and you're not. At that point, you need to work out, but you're not working out for the health benefit. You're working out because you need to take your mind off some shit. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%. Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
that.
So like that's what I kind of feel like today is going to be. I mean, like we're still going to do the news and stuff.
Right. The standard things. There's a ton
Yeah,
of
there's a lot
news.
of
Like
news, and
Jesus
there's some stuff I'm
Christ.
really excited to talk about.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah. Let's. Should we just jump into the news then?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Let's open it.
All right, bet we'll start off with the albums first. To be honest, there isn't a ton of like hip hop albums per se.
No, there's one really cool
Um,
one, and then like
yeah,
everything else is really in other genres.
yeah. I think that are important to bring up actually, and that's one thing I'm gonna get into. So just to start off, we have Jeezy and DJ Drama dropping Snowfall, which is a Gangsta Grillz mixtape.
That's gonna be fun. I'm gonna
Um,
listen to this.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna listen to this. Is this like and this could be all like a placebo effect in my head, but I honestly don't know. I feel like there's so many albums with DJ Drama recently.
Yeah, no, I think this is his third one this year. I was reading
Like
that.
out of nowhere. It's been like a crazy increase.
Yeah, no, and like really, they're mixtapes, and like
Yeah,
we were
yeah,
saying,
they
we've
are.
been saying it the entire time we've had this show. Like, bring back mixtape culture. Mixtape culture was one of the best parts about like being a music fan online.
Hmm.
And don't get me wrong, I think SoundCloud is good. Like mixtape culture lived on in SoundCloud, but it also kind of died on SoundCloud.
Hmm. That is true.
Uh, so yeah, no, I'm into the DJ Drama mixtape revival. I think it's cool.
It's, I'm actually looking it up right now.
Cause
Um,
wasn't the Dreamville one?
yep, that's another one that came to mind.
Huh.
But I know there's another one that's
That mixtape was
rumored.
great.
It's amazing. There's a
Yeah,
Snoop Dogg one coming out. There's a Snoop Dogg one coming out
yeah,
with him. Like it's been a lot. So there's definitely something that's like been on the top of my brain. And it's like, okay, this might be a new trend coming up, and who else might be able to do this?
yeah,
Because reality, like the Gangsta Grills series, that like I'm pretty sure ended back in 2010, and I haven't seen much since then. So like it's crazy that it's making a resurgence now.
yeah. It's absolutely nuts, but I'm all about it.
Yeah. Moving on from him, this is actually someone I found him a while ago, and I went to go see him at Lala as well.
Yeah,
And
Duckworth.
man, can he perform? Yeah, Duckworth is amazing. He's got an EP coming out called Chrome Bull. Um, this is definitely something that I'm gonna have to run by. I don't know what to expect to be honest, but like I'm assuming it's gonna be good quality.
Yeah. No,
Um,
let me know how it is, because I've yet to dive into Duckworth, but maybe I will. Who knows?
I'll point out probably the best song to give it to you.
Yeah, throw them on a
Um,
Spotify playlist.
yep. Oh, I
No,
guess
not
technically that did get on the recording.
yeah.
Should we get into that, or do you want to wait to the actual news?
No, well, let's even just skip that. I don't want to talk about which evil company I give my money to.
Well, Brandon's back on Spotify. I'm just gonna throw it out there. We can move
Yeah,
on.
Idol's pricey. I have food.
Title is pricey. You're not wrong. That's why I didn't keep it.
Yeah.
Um, so Brandon, I'm actually curious because my exposure to Arctic Monkeys is very minimal, I would say.
Yeah.
I've listened to maybe one or two of their albums, the most popular ones.
Yeah.
Did you ever
AM.
listen?
Yeah.
Yep,
I'm.
absolutely.
I wouldn't call myself like a huge fan, but I'm definitely a fan. I've been listening to them since middle school.
That's kind of what I figured.
Yeah. Like, they're really really good, but they're just never. They just fit in a. They're very indie rock, and I've always liked indie rock, but it's never been my favorite genre ever.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I follow that.
Always liked it, and they have a lot of their earlier stuff. I don't have a lot of the names of their albums memorized, but it's the guy smoking the joint on the cover. That one, great album. Uh,
Multiple.
this is a divisive statement, but I think AM is fantastic.
It
Uh,
really is.
yeah, I think AM is a very fun, like almost like I don't know if I would call it great, but it was one of the last really really good rock albums that hit mainstream really hard.
I was
Uh,
gonna say definitely hitting mainstream because the fact that it even reached me is impressive.
yeah. Um, and then their last one, I hear creatively is very cool, but it's just not rock and roll. It's like lounge music,
Huh.
and it's also like set in space. It's like a sci-fi story.
That's actually kind of interesting to me.
It's
I
not
would definitely listen
uninteresting,
to that.
but I listened to it, and it was
But
during the
wasn't it?
pandemic. It was, definitely something I want to get to again, but I just found it boring.
Is that the live at the Royal Albert Hall?
Yeah,
Okay. I didn't know this was an actual new album. I thought it was just like a live performance that you're doing there, like the J. Cole
yeah.
one that he has on there. Um, Let me see. But this is his first thing, yeah, in 2 years. Since at least a live performance. So I don't know. I thought it was supposed to be some big comeback, so we'll see.
We'll
I'm
see.
excited to
Yeah,
listen to
I mean, it kind of like on one hand, I know this is probably like the most shallow Arctic Monkeys opinion I can have, but it's like just I want another AM. Like,
it.
and they're all like, "Nah, man, what artist? We're not." This is my British rock guy accent.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
like, nah. It's like,
Wow.
we're artists. We're gonna evolve, and it's like, yeah, I know, but I want more of the old stuff. God damn it! At least do what Kid
Look,
Cudi does and do half and half.
I was gonna say, look, I just wanted acid rap too. That's all
Yeah.
I want in life.
Oh yeah, you got you
I'm
got. I love my wife music instead.
I'm not asking for much.
Yeah. And then we
Um,
actually have one of the biggest albums of the year, undebatably dropping tonight.
I will be contesting this till
In terms of numbers, I don't think any. Miss 'em Around, the Big Steppers is probably the only thing that comes close in terms of numbers.
and the thing is, and don't get me wrong, Miss Morale, I love it, but
Yeah.
like that's not even close to Kendrick's like biggest project.
No, not even close. Because
So
when Good Kid, Mad City came out, it was just as critically loved and gaga'd over, and it was on the radio 24/7 for a year.
that's all you heard.
Yeah.
That's literally all you heard.
So,
Speaking of that, that's one of the news later. It was the first album in history to stay on Billboard 200 for
oh,
10
I know.
years.
I see it down there. I love talking about Good Kid,
Yep.
Mad City, so that's fine.
Yep.
Uh, perfect album.
Um,
Uh,
Absolutely perfect album.
yeah, but look, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's a dirty little secret about me. I actually think
Oh, boy.
Taylor Swift is a very talented songwriter. You know,
Okay.
I do. I respect her as an artist. I don't think she is this genre-defying artist. And basically, like, she has a huge fan base online that I just think is a bit nutty. And it's like
They are.
they're just they are the poster boy or poster women, if we're being honest, of
Mhm.
like people who love to talk critically about music and just conveniently don't have an interest in hip hop.
Ooh.
Because like once
Okay.
again, I think Taylor Swift is an extremely talented uh songwriter. But maybe not extremely, but like a very talented songwriter.
Hmm.
But like let's be real, it's not gonna be a Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. It's just not. Like that album is like and like look, I would love if it was. Like
I was gonna say we can like. I think it is fair to critically judge something as it is. Miss Morale is supposed to be like a poetic, deeper meaning
but
album.
then again, so is this.
But you have to look at, and this might be biased,
I just
but you
historically
have to
don't
look at the
think
subject matter.
yeah, my thing is that well, we don't notice to be fair, we don't notice subject matter of Taylor Swift. But like I
Has
think
she
like
ever had a deeper meaning?
no, she definitely has on some of her albums. Oh
Okay,
yeah,
please fill
that's
in.
like
Actually though.
that's like a no. I'm being completely real with you.
I
Like
know I'm saying as someone who literally has not listened to
and
I
like
don't
look,
think I've heard one.
no,
So.
I listen to her albums just because like they're usually very well produced.
Hmm.
But yeah, like her most recent ones are all very conceptual. They're all
Okay.
like they are legitimately very well conceived conceptual projects. You know.
Interesting.
So like I'm not but here's the thing. right?
Okay.
Taylor Swift's career as a writer, which I have engaged with and I've listened to the music, and I think I think she has a very good oeuvre. It just doesn't compare to someone like a Kendrick Lamar. Like, it just
Okay.
doesn't. It's not in the same stratosphere. And, like, you hear a lot of people talk about how Taylor Swift is the greatest songwriter, and it's like, she's really not, dude. Like, and it makes it very hard for me to give her the respect I think she deserves for the work on the page, to say.
Because it's almost like she's getting overhyped.
She's
Unrealistic. It's
100%.
getting inflated.
Yeah, she's
Almost.
100%. And, like, I don't think it comes off too much on Taylor herself, but, like,
Like, it's not her fault.
but I definitely think it is the core of her fan base, as far as I've engaged with it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just like she is very good, but, like, I think
But
she is put in this place that the only way you can put her in this place is to omit, like, entire genres and just not take them seriously.
I have to like ask then because, and there's a couple of directions I can go with this. Is this her fault or the fans' fault?
I would 100% say it's the fans' fault.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I
And
would.
that's
100.
interesting to like think about because like
Yeah,
everything that I know about Taylor, it's very limited. One, but two, like anytime she does come out with something, it's almost to the point where, like you said, the people who are fans, not they meaningfully put themselves on a high pedestal, but it almost seems like they're better than every other genre. So that's why when you said people listening to them normally don't listen to rap like that, is I think that's true because
yeah,
they don't think the quality is as good just simply because it's not
yeah.
her.
I definitely think, like, it's a generalization. So there are going to be exceptions. There are going to be
Of
people
course.
who do love Taylor Swift who do also listen to hip hop. I've talked to those people. Most of them wouldn't say she's the greatest living songwriter, and it's
Okay.
just like, And the other thing is, and you get this with a lot of groups. You get this with, Nicki Minaj, the Barbs. You get this with,
The
like the
Hive,
K-pop, the Hive. You get, like, this, like, rabid fan base, right?
where the
But
crazy ones stand out
where the
and
crazy ones
give that
stand
bad
out.
image.
And the thing that I think makes the Taylor Swift one unique is that they try to have a layer of, like, academic and critical analysis over it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, yeah, like it, I don't know how to say it any other way than I did, but it's just like this faux layer of, like, no, we're taking this music extremely seriously, and this is, like, who we deem as the best. And, like, if she's your favorite artist, like, God bless you, because I do think she's very talented. I think she's very worthy of being as many people's favorite artist as she is.
Hmm.
But, like, once again, I don't think you can really come to that conclusion without, like, omitting entire genres. You know,
Hmm.
and
It's very interesting.
yeah,
Like what you just said made me think of like honestly how people view some J. Cole fans. When
oh
J.
yeah,
Cole comes out, is there's always videos like, oh, here comes this J. Cole fan, like overly deep. So like I get it. I do
yeah,
understand how it like
yeah. Like,
translates.
it's an overgeneralization, but, like, it's rooted in truth.
Right.
You know,
Like it's not just like someone stupid being dumb. Like there's a reason
yeah.
and like
There's a
my
reason
friend
why
groups.
some J Cole fans are seen as pretentious. Like,
Exactly. Exactly.
you
And
know,
so like it's
there,
something that we've talked about a lot within my friend group. Something similar to that is like anime right now. Like anime is what's popular. But like obviously it's easy to kind of like back in the day to hate on some anime fans because there's always like the weird kid like doing a Naruto run on campus. But
yeah,
like
and I
that's
think,
not
like,
all anime fans.
yeah, no, that's not all anime fans, but it's like, no, dude, it's cool to like anime, or it's fine to like anime. I'm not a huge fan of anime, but then again, I do like some of it.
Hmm.
And it's like, no, it's just that run is weird.
Right.
You know, I was,
It's the weird guy that's standing out where it's like it's easy to be like, man, anime people are stupid or weird or
yeah,
something.
but,
Because
like,
like he's the one that you're going to see expressing it.
like I loved comic books as a kid, like equivalent, like in that equivalent age. And if I ran around with my arms in front of me like I was Superman,
Like, obviously, come on.
yeah, you see what I mean? Like it's the same thing. Although I feel like if I could swing around like Spider-Man, that would be cool. Like
That's valid.
yeah, that's valid. I think you'll be like, "Oh, that's sick." Like if you can pull that off, you should do that.
Absolutely. I'm totally on board with that.
Yeah.
Okay, bet. Well, I'm
Yeah.
going to.
I'm probably not.
gonna
I'm not
listen to it.
rushing to listen to Taylor Swift, but like, if I do hear from like the same people who like, Fantano, Pitchfork, like if I hear overwhelmingly that it's very good, I'll give it its
You will
due.
take a look.
Yeah, I'll give it its due. But
Okay,
like, if
that's
I hear
completely fair.
overwhelmingly, like, yeah, this one isn't that great, like, I probably won't. Like,
And I mean, that's the thing. Like, what I've heard, and it could be false because the opposite side of what we were just saying, it's easy for the community to get confused, as in, like, oh, now all Taylor Swift fans are like this. But, like, from an outsider looking in, it's literally like the perspective that's painted is like Taylor Swift gets in hella relationships, is like toxic in a relationship, gets out of a relationship, makes a song about the guy, and is like toxic about it.
yeah,
And it's like, to me, that does hold a place in culture, in music, but like, I don't find that substantial. So like, if the concept is based off of like
yeah,
something like that, and if she does it common, then it takes away from the effect.
yeah. But do you hold that same standard against like Drake?
Actually,
like,
yeah.
Okay.
But
Like,
because
I don't.
we legitimately listen to some Drake albums and be like, look, it ain't that good. Like,
Yeah,
it's not.
yeah. No, I think I once again, I think that's a fair standard to have. I just think we gotta be honest with ourselves and just be like, a lot of people.
Right.
And look, I think like this is true of people like us, like because Taylor Swift fans like to rail on Kanye fans, and hey, these days I'm with you.
Do it. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Proceed.
I'm putting my arms out and like letting it. Like, so we're on the weird, strange bedfellows this time around, but like, but yeah, I think a lot of people do that, and I do think it's fair to say that like that has been unfairly done against women. It's also been unfairly done against black people. So like,
Right.
All different
minorities in general.
Yeah, all different layers to it.
Okay.
Are we going to talk about an album we're going to listen to at midnight when it comes out?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not tomorrow or tonight. But
I wish I could
think
sleep for a week.
just to fast forward, I'm not even gonna lie, Brandon. The only reason, because it's not coming out this week. Smino is dropping next week on the 28th. Love for Rent. I wanted to put it now because I know it's early.
He just dropped the track list with features.
Stop.
Yeah, he did.
Stop.
He just did. Actually, it says 3 hours ago. Ooh, we got
Twitter or Instagram.
Twitter. I'll say to you right now, we're not cutting for this.
We're not cutting for this.
This is breaking news. This is breaking news. How did this happen?
I'm looking. Hold on, chill out.
Yeah.
I need to zoom in. How do I zoom in?
Yeah. It's also written in fonts. I hate this. But yeah, it's not I don't think it's like an extremely high. No, it's actually very high. Holy shit. J. Cole, but we've heard that song.
I see
Doechii.
I see Little Uzi Vert.
Little Uzi Vert is hype. Raven Lene, huge fan of her.
Oh boy. All right, Brandon.
I'm hyped to see Doechii. I am hyped to see Doechii.
Look, I'm gonna say this right now. I'm gonna do the same thing I did with Jit. This might be one of my top 5.
This is.
I don't know yet, but I think it has the quality.
I see it coming too. I gotta be honest with you. I see this storm on the horizon. And dude, it's so this week I've been just mainlining Griselda stuff. I listened to West Side Gun's album, Hitler Hermes 8, and Hitler Wears Hermes 8, and So Fly God. I listened to Conway the Machine's album twice today. That shit's incredible. Tana Talk 4, Black Soprano Family, listening to it all. This shit is fucking up my top 5. Holy fuck. It's so good.
That's a
Like,
lot of like dirty rap, Brandon.
dude, it's
listening
so.
to.
I think like I'm gonna make this my personality now. Not to
Have it
mention,
take over.
not to mention the fact that Freddie Gibbs is just. I'm constantly. I think Freddie Gibbs narrates my life now. Like,
I'm not even gonna lie. After doing the album review, I want to put it even higher. I honestly think it's so good. I'm starting to notice the small things when I text you the other day about him trying to sing in the first song.
Yeah.
That is what makes an album.
dude,
That is like that's character.
It's so good. I can't. It's like Fritos, man. Like you can't have one. You just have to like keep eating
Yeah.
them.
Isn't that Lace?
I don't care. It's Pringles, actually. But like,
Wait. Wait a minute.
but yeah.
Okay.
No, and I definitely see this one coming right up. And like we knew it was happening.
Oh yeah.
Like
We expected this.
yeah, he's going on tour. A tour we will be at, by the way.
I bought the tickets immediately.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm also seeing my favorite comedian a week after the concert.
Oh yeah, who was it?
It's Stravos Halkis. Halkes? I don't know how to say his last name. It's Greek.
Interesting.
He's a chubby
Where'd he
dude.
come
He's a
from?
fat dude. He's real funny.
No, the big guys.
Yeah.
Big guy.
Oh my god. I'll send you some of his stuff. He has an incredible special on YouTube.
But
Yeah.
let's take a look.
All right. So those are the new albums. And needless to say, big day for annoying people. We'll be eating next week.
Yes, absolutely. I advise you not even to check in next week. But I guess we could talk about some singles because we got some music videos. We got some good singles.
Yeah, we do.
We are eating. But starting off, Brandon, this is actually, you told me about this today. They actually posted some photos, I want to say a month ago, and I think this has been in the works for a while. But Pharrell Williams and Travis Scott have a song called Down in Atlanta that's supposed to be coming out, I believe, if not tomorrow, soon. I'm ready. I'm just ready for another Travis Scott.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. And also, I think this is for me at least, this is a particularly exciting Travis Scott release.
Mm-hmm.
Because
why is it?
I think a huge test of Travis Scott's like material, like his metal, will be on other people's beats. And I think Pharrell Williams is different enough from Travis Scott, but also just flat out good enough. That
I'm gonna say one of the legends.
Yeah, personally, like I really am a fan of Travis Scott as a producer, but I would give it to Pharrell all day, every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this is not just like being excited because it's two artists I like. I think this is a particularly potent combination.
Look, if I hear the first yeah or it's fire or anything along those lines, I'm ready, Brandon. Like I'm gonna get right into the mood. I've been dying for some Travis Scott.
Yeah.
I think it's been long enough. It's time for the comeback.
Yeah, no, I'm not against it, but I think it's time to start a slow rollout. That's what I would say.
Mm-hmm. Like something just needs to begin. Something
I think it needs to begin. Like I would say, get them on some features, have them be a little bit more active on social media, and then low-key probably not. I would say push the album into early next year, but like get it started. I would say it's time for a slow release.
Yep. I agree because it's always got to be a build up to it. I feel like a lot of the things that we've been talking about, it's a build up.
Look, I think if Travis Scott, and I don't want to get into a debate about Travis Scott right now, but I think if Travis Scott was a different kind of artist, and if he dropped an album that was like informed by the Astroworld event, or maybe even was like about it, I think he could come out of nowhere and just drop that, and that'd be okay. But like he's just not that kind of artist, and that's okay. Those people are allowed to exist. So
Hmm.
like just slow roll it out. I think that's probably for the best.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think a lot of and it's interesting that you say that because a lot of the big projects that we've been considering top five has had a slow rollout. The only one that's not is Kendrick, and that's because it's Kendrick.
Yeah.
So he's
Did
got
yeah,
to
no,
start
Jid had a
something.
pretty slow rollout.
Yep.
Uh yeah, Freddie
Multiple singles put
Gibbs
out before then.
definitely. Freddie
Denzel
Gibbs
Curry
said
didn't come out right away.
no, he was dropping singles out for like 4 months.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Yeah.
Uh what about Pusha T though?
I don't remember a big rollout, but there was multiple singles. It
There
was just
was multiple
clouded in the
singles.
Kanye stuff. Like the Diet Coke came out. Some
Yeah.
other song came
Oh, and
out
then the
with the music
song
video.
he released Diet Coke, and then he released that song on that producer album, Nico. Nigo?
Yep. Yep.
That's what it was.
Nigo. Hmm.
Yeah.
So
And
like there was a rollout.
yeah, it was just like
It was just
very little
clouded.
from the actual album, which is cool.
Yeah. I mean, we'll take that. A lot of things that I've been kind of witnessing, and we've talked about how artists are going into other fields and industries in general.
Yeah.
Like we're seeing a lot more content outside of just the album. Like I literally was just looking at this right now. Playboy Cardi put up a story on his Instagram. He's just selling merch. It has nothing to do with like an album rollout that I know of at least. So like it's interesting seeing them just do stuff now. It's actually stuff outside of music that they're content that they're offering and creating.
That's cool. That's cool.
So anyway, um speaking of one of the albums of the year, we have another Jidio. Jid is dropping music video. I don't know if it's two videos or like two songs in one video, but he is dropping a video for Brother Them and Crack Sandwiches.
Yeah. Did you watch it?
I have not.
Oh, because I have.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Thoughts? Comments?
I actually am very disappointed you haven't watched it because I really want to talk about it.
I'm gonna be
Uh,
honest. I didn't know it was out already. I thought
oh
it was
my,
coming out tomorrow.
oh my god. So I'll say this: like, I love these two songs off the album. Right?
Mm-hmm.
No bad songs in that Jid album, and these are in the upper half in quality. I'd say both of these songs.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They are not why
But
I
what
love
about
this
the
video.
actual video?
They're not why I love this video. The filmmaking in this video is fucking crazy. Like
Really?
the film nerd in me enjoyed this video much more than the Jid fan. And it is just
How?
so well made, dude. There's a trick in cinema called a match shot. It's when like the composition of one shot is similar to the composition of the next shot. It's almost impossible to describe, but like they're all over this video, and it's something that takes like precision. You have to like shoot it, know how to edit it. It's like a very difficult thing to pull off,
Mm.
especially in the ways that they're going for it in the video, you know?
Okay.
And it fucking looks incredible. Holy fuck.
Okay, but
Like I'd watch this video on mute.
so this could be like an album of the year or a video of the
This
year.
is my video of the year right now. Yes.
Wow.
Like
Okay.
yeah, not even a
Interesting.
question. This is yeah, there's been some good videos. I really love the Troubles video. Uh
The
that was
walking video is pretty
the
good.
walking video is great. Zatachi has a great video. Uh I'm sure there are other ones that aren't Denzel Curry. You know who had a great video was So Cool, Big Crit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where it was like
With the in the
70s.
news.
Yeah, the news anchor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're fighting over the girl, and at the end, he just takes out a katana.
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, no, watch these videos expeditiously. You won't.
It's interesting because like I already considered him having one of the like videos of the year, the video of his surround sound, and like the different scenes that are in the video, and then it ends with like multiple him surrounded by like the staircase. I'm already impressed. So like
Yeah,
if he did it again, I'm here for it.
I don't know if I listened to the surround sound video because I got to be honest, was not a huge fan of that track when it dropped. I have
Okay.
grown to really like it, like especially after hearing it in the album. I great song, right? But
Mhm.
I remember being unimpressed when it came out. and I don't think I ever watched the video, so I can't confidently say it's better than that one. But look, I love the Dance Now video. Dance Now is probably I like that song better than both of these, but this is leagues ahead of that.
Okay,
Yeah, which
cool.
already a great video. Leagues ahead though.
Okay, but I'm going to watch it as soon as we finish, along with another music video that's coming up.
God damn it.
So this is like, I have to like counter the good with the
The
meh.
awful.
But Sir Nav will be dropping Bald and Peace music video tomorrow.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I'll watch it. I like the album. I like the song. I'm not expecting anything besides a classic men half like dancing and rapping in front of a video with a bunch of girls. That's pretty much all I'm expecting. I don't see any deeper concept or anything like that. Just like a very basic music video.
Yeah, no, I've never no, I watched the video for that song I don't like with the weekend.
I'm trying to think what song to
The
introduce
one
the
on the
week.
first album.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and bad song.
I mean,
Uh
what I think about like, and the only reason I like this comes to the top of my head right away is the one with him and Belly. Even though this was
oh yeah, re-up.
years ago, where like the quality may not have been
Yeah.
there, and they were still young in their careers, but that is basically two dudes have dancing in front of a like camera while
Yeah.
rapping.
I think the re-up video has it's kind of something that like if you're not not super in the know, but like if you're a little bit in the know, you'd appreciate it.
Hmm.
If you go back and rewatch that video, you'll see that it's shot on like 16 different types of cameras, and like
Okay.
it's like like one of the belly scenes is like this really gritty, looks like an episode of Cops kind of thing. The nav part is shot like in reverse with this very clear HD video. There's a drone for one of them, so it's like, yeah,
Wow, I did not translate all
yeah,
that.
yeah, but
I would
like,
have known that.
but like the stuff that's actually on screen, yeah, you're right. That's an accurate depiction.
Yeah.
What you said was not inaccurate. I just think like there's a little bit more to it.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
actually, I'm glad that you told me. I did not realize that so much was behind the scenes.
yeah. It's something that like once you like if you went back and rewatched it now you'll see it. It's not subtle, but it's the kind of thing that most people who watch music videos and movies don't even really notice on
Okay.
first hand. To be honest, I think it probably took me a few times to even notice it myself.
Okay. I believe it. Um, well, moving off of that then, we have, I believe, I don't know if it's a music video tied to it. He's done a couple of posts about it, but Chance is dropping a house song or a house single that's also paired with another painting installation that he's had going on. Have you heard it?
No, I have not heard the song.
Okay, so he's been posting about it on Instagram. I've heard a couple of snippets of it. On his story, I think he actually played it legitimately because it's up now. It's at the MoCA, which is the Museum of Contemporary Art in LA. The installation's already up, the painting's there, and I believe he was playing the full song at the actual event, and somebody was actually posting about it. It sounds pretty good. Like it sounds like actually really good house music. This is not the Drake house music attempt. Like this is the Beyonce house music attempt.
Ooh.
And so if anyone that could do it, it'll be that
Yeah.
Southsider.
Yeah, I mean, he's from it. What's it
Yep.
called?
I don't know the actual name of the song, but it is a painting installation at the MoCA. It's on his like most recent Instagram stuff. Let me see if I can get the name. I can pull it up right now. Okay, the painting is called You Know. YAH No. and it is made by an artist, Mia Lee,
Hmm.
from the South Side. So he's getting to his roots.
Interesting. Interesting. All right. I
Um,
mean, I'll have to listen to it. I love Chance. Great. He's on a great roll of singles.
do I want Chance or Travis more? I don't know yet.
You gotta say Chance, dude. Well,
As long as it's good, you know.
if it's if it's good, yeah, it's high risk, high reward with Chance. That's the thing.
100%.
Yeah. Although
I'm
like
already betting here. I can't be betting anymore.
although like I don't think Travis has ever put out like a bad album, but like he has a pretty wide breadth too, if you ask me.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'm warming up to Birds in the Trap, but I still think it is nowhere near as good as Astro World
Rodeo.
and
Oh, okay.
Rodeo.
No, yeah, it's true. I mean, it's true.
Ugh.
Um,
All right, let's talk about this Brett Fayez thing because I was going to listen to Brett Fayez today, but then I'm like, no, I'm gonna listen to West Side Gun again. Like,
I do understand. But what I would say, I would highly recommend Wasteland. It's on my top 10.
yeah, I'm gonna listen to it immediately. It's on my list of things to do like this
It's a
weekend.
concept album, so look, you're in for a treat. I'll say that. But he is coming out, or I won't say coming out. He's finally bringing to streaming the song "Too Late to Die Young." I believe this was leaked a while ago. Um,
Is
I mean,
it
it's Brett Fayez. You know
okay?
what you're
So
gonna
it's a
get.
new single. It was leaked, but it's not like an old mixtape song.
I don't believe it's an old mixtape song. I can double check right now just to make sure.
Yeah, because I did like because I pulled up Wasteland. I was gonna listen to it, but then I didn't. Uh, and I looked at this and I'm like, is this a song from Wastelands? Because I thought it was I thought it was a video announcement.
Hmm.
And then I was like, oh no, it's not. So that led me to believe like, oh, is he gearing up to release something again? And like, goddamn, two projects in a year.
No, there's no way. I'm looking now. It is Too Late to Die Young is a mix of 6 tracks by Sonder. So this came out in 2011. So it's not like an old mixtape, but
Uh,
technically, I don't think it was officially released to stream,
okay,
which I think actually
no, that's
that
cool.
gives it more credit. I didn't even
No,
know it was going to be like an EP almost. It might be an EP. I could be wrong.
yeah, no, that's cool. I like that.
Um, well, we have a ton of just stuff.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
We're
things to.
eating this year, bro.
Yeah,
We are like
this
literally
is
just
spoiled, spoiled, and it seems like
it's
it's gonna
ridiculous.
spill over into next year.
Yes, and I'm so excited for. I'm here for it. Um, should we just jump right into it then?
Yeah, let's jump right into it.
This is something that you brought up to me. I didn't even know that Danny Brown was still making music. I thought he was done.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything from Danny Brown in a while. Like I like a lot of his catalog,
He
but
released an album in 2020. It was really good.
let me check.
Yeah, it was in 2020. I remember there was a Run the Jewels song on it, feature on it. I really enjoyed. Because of
Danny
course I
Brown?
did. Yeah.
Oh, you about 2019? The You Know What I'm Saying one?
Was that 2019? I thought it was 2020.
I think it was pre-COVID, yeah.
Oh, I mean,
And I see the song, yeah, Three Cheers, Warner Jewels.
yeah.
I mean, no, I like his catalog. I just didn't think he was diving into making music just because of his podcast. He has that like really successful podcast now.
Yeah.
But I mean, unless he's doing it in the background, hey, power to him. Um, but one thing that is kind of weird to me, the JPEG Mafia collab, I feel like they would work together. I just feel like this is too unique, too niche, too
Huh.
small of a subgenre.
That's I don't know how much mainstream appeal a Danny Brown JPEG Mafia collab could be. And I've never really listened to that much JPEG Mafia. But what I have heard, it's been like very abrasive and not really for me, you know. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but like it seems like it would mix. That song, that Three Tears with Run the Jewels, that's produced by JPEG Mafia.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't even know. JPEG Mafia is on a song on the same album,
yeah,
so they've worked
yeah.
together.
They
I
work
just feel like it's
together. Like
so.
I definitely think creatively they would mesh. They seem very similar. You know, if anything, like, and I don't want to say this because I don't think it's true because I don't think Danny Brown or JPEG Mafia for that matter are ever boring. Uh, but like, I think they so clearly go together. It's almost like a little like uninspired, kind of like in the same way that like of course a Kendrick and J Cole pairing would be great. It's like yeah, of course it
Mhm.
is. It's like it's like if
It's
you
Kendrick
ask
and J
someone
Cole,
like
right?
what's a collab you want to see and they give you that answer, it's a shitty answer. It's like yeah,
Right. It's like that's a cheat code.
and
Give me a real
everyone
answer.
you and every person with ears on a Spotify account. Like
Okay, I can see it. Well, we actually already talked about Good Kid, Mad City.
yeah,
Should we dive into our weekly Kanye check-in because he is somehow still been very
I
active.
have dude. How is this guy like?
It is impressive. I thought the Instagram block was going to be enough to at least shut him up for a period. No, that didn't happen at all. He is still very active. He is doing live interviews with analysts here and there. He is now giving away shirts to the homeless in LA, the White Lives Matter shirts, which I understand.
Yeah.
It's for a positive message. It's for a positive thing.
What is it?
Look.
It's just
It
it
could be a
is
saving grace.
what is.
It's just
Oh,
a,
like handing
it's
it out to homeless people.
yeah, the fact
Yeah,
that
no,
it's for
it's
homeless people.
yeah, no, it's certainly better that it's for homeless people than throwing them away because that's the only other thing that would have happened.
That's literally right. It's
Yeah,
either you throw it away or it goes to the homeless people. And I'm not gonna lie, it I pondered for a second which
yeah.
one I would prefer.
No, yeah, I, the materialist in me. I'm bringing out some Marxism.
Oh boy.
Would say that it's better that they are on the backs of people to
That
which
need it.
clothing is the most valuable. Yes.
Hmm.
Um, but like a part of me also is like it's like such a shisty thing because it's like what are we gonna do here? Like what are
What are we supposed to do with this?
yeah like okay Kanye whatever you say Kanye like
The only like and again, because it's for homeless people, like that is its like only beneficial thing. It's like, okay,
yeah
at least
no
it's being
it's
used for
yeah
positivity.
it's definitely
But I
good that it's
right.
yeah being used to keep someone warm who doesn't have a home like
Right. But I would hope he would do something with the shirts first to not make them basically almost a marketing scheme for him. Even if that may not be his
it's
first
PR.
intention, it
It's
is what it
PR. Yeah.
is. That's
No,
what I'm saying.
you make the shirt because making that shirt costs what, like $10,000, right?
Which is nothing for him.
Nothing for him. And how much media coverage did he get for making that
Much,
shirt?
much, much more.
If you tried to buy that amount of screen time, because you can do that. Anyone in America with money can just buy time on TV. It's called buying time. It's a phrase most people have heard.
Mhm.
Uh, and yeah, it's just not good.
No.
Yeah,
I mean that's just one thing he also I don't know what validity or how valid this is, but freaking Drake wrote all his best lyrics
do
apparently.
you even think that's true?
I, why would he say it?
Are we?
I'm just saying,
we're
like
giving validity to the things this man is saying. He's a nutso man. Like,
the TikTok you sent me was very interesting, where it's like how quickly or like how much do you yell at Kanye for saying like very clearly racist things, very clearly inappropriate things. But like at the same time, do you look at him and be like, this man actually is like he needs help?
Yeah.
He's insane.
Yeah,
So like
he definitely
you
needs help, but the other thing is that like he also needs to be held accountable for the bullshit.
e- exactly. Like that's the thing.
And it's like,
So
what do you do? Like,
what am I supposed to do here?
yeah,
I mean, I guess yeah. When you put it that way, then yeah, there's no point of him saying Drake wrote all of his like best lyrics back in the day. But what it is like, and this has nothing to do with how crazy he is or not. He purchased Parler, which I found out about recently. Do you know
yeah.
what Parler
I
is?
know what Parlor is. I have a Parlor account to keep an eye on the crazies.
No, you don't.
I swear to God, I do.
No, you
I swear to God, I do. Dude, you gotta keep a fucking
Brandon,
eye on
you're
it. That
lying.
and the other thing is that I love how it's like, oh, we're a free speech platform, and I'm like, I literally like typed up this thing. It's like why communism will win, and like lo and behold, they keep taking down my post.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
like so. Just so you know, like all the free speech bullshit, not true. Go on there and say seize the means of production, or
Well, I didn't doubt. I've never even heard about it being about like free speech or
oh,
free
that's
will.
like the
Like
point of Parlor is that like they're not
I don't
like
believe that in the slightest. Like I don't
no,
believe they
that's
actually
like
stand behind it.
no, that's their branding. You know,
But
like
I'm saying that branding is a
very
marketing
clearly
plot
idiotic. Like,
for right. It's simply because people, and I won't say his name, but you know who I'm talking about, who we worked with before. People like him continue to get blocked from Instagram and Facebook for saying
shit that you should be blocked for. Just say
things
it. Like,
things you should be blocked for. That's one way to put it. Correct. So
like, yeah,
that's the
like,
easiest
oh,
way to wrap it up.
oh, you mean the guy who is
So
openly supports fascist politician? That guy getting kicked
so
off of
yes,
platforms? What a crime!
that is the one that I was mentioning. So with that being said, that's just a marketing plot for those people to be like, hey, we're not going to block you when you say things you should get blocked for. So come join us because you're going to have free speech. But that's not
What they
what the
actually
actual free
are.
speech is. The free speech is you get to say things you're not supposed to, which essentially is what Trump enabled many people to do.
Yeah,
You can now say things that you shouldn't have before
yeah.
because what's going to happen to you?
Nothing. Yeah, nothing. Nothing will ever happen to bad people in this country anymore.
So
It's I don't want to talk about it. It makes me so upset. Like,
it's just the only thing, and to wrap it back up, not to get too off track with this, the thing to tie this back into a podcast. How ironic is it that like many people in Parler, let's be honest, are just kind of like very conservative. Um, they like to say very, very questionable things. How will they handle that the new owner of what they're actually publishing on is going to be Kanye?
you know,
Just like a black male, someone they typically do not, you know.
I understand like that drive to be like, oh, there's going to be a contradiction here. I don't think they give a shit. I think Kanye has been slowly embracing things that are specifically very important to those kind of people. Specifically like how he always talks about how against abortion he is, and it's like, oh, okay. Like,
Okay. Okay.
uh and yeah, it's obvious like where this is coming from. Like, so no,
He's
I
now
think,
among the people, so
but like,
it's not even like they're going to be against it
but
because he
but
fits.
so you don't think that it's interesting, right? That Kanye West is hanging out with Candace Owens, worst person in America, who's not an elected official, but still deserves bricks in their windows. Not like at them, but like in their windows.
Just property damage.
Yeah, just property damage. I hope she listens to this.
Please don't get us in trouble, Brandon.
Uh,
Please.
anyway, so he's hanging out with her, right? So much so that she comes out when he reveals his White Lives Matter shirt, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Kanye goes out and he says the most cartoonishly anti-Semitic shit I've ever heard. Like, I did not think it was possible to like exist in this world and like say some of this shit, you know?
Yeah, I've heard some of it.
Yeah. And then so he says all this wild shit after hanging out with Candace Owens, which inevitably leads to him getting kicked off of all these social media platforms. And then, surprise, surprise, he goes and he buys the free speech social media platform from Candace Owens' husband.
I did not know that's where it's from. God, I hate her so much.
Yeah, Candace Owens' husband.
Oh, I hate her so much.
Sold
everything associated with Kanye.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
And like, am I fucking making this up? Like, am I taking crazy pills? I don't know. But it's just like, God damn it. I just want to like the graduation. I just want to like graduation.
Bro, I just want to be able to play a song and just like enjoy a classic song with so much meaning, with so much impact,
so much meaning.
It's so
to me,
good.
You know, a song that instantly takes me back to like the best memories of my life. You know, like songs I innately connect to. My journey on this planet as a human being. Yeah, I'd love to listen to this music again, but every time I do,
man, every time I do, it's so painful. It sucks so much. I was listening to what was I listening? I think it was Spaceship. God, it hurts so much not being able to enjoy this music.
No, it just, and like, look, here's the thing: if you're listening to this and you are able to enjoy his music still, all the power to you. Like, I do not bemoan someone, you know, whatever enjoyment they take out of art, no matter how bad what Kanye does is, right?
So as long as it's just his art.
Yeah, I'm not going to take anyone getting pleasure out of it away from them. I think that's a really toxic thing we shouldn't indulge in. But I also think, like, for me personally, and it sounds like it for you, there's just, like, personally, a lot of people are just not going to. Like,
it's just, like, bro.
You can't, I don't think you could deny that this kind of, like, almost revulsion is, like, a perfectly reasonable response. The same way,
like, yeah. It's literally out of principle. At this point, I'm doing it out of principle. I'm not doing this because, like, Kanye's not making money. I'm not doing this because, like, I don't want to.
Yeah, you listen to him on Spotify. Like, what are you going to give him? 2 cents?
That's what I'm saying. Literally, like, it's literally it's out of principle. I just I can't stomach it. There's no other artist I've had to do this for.
It's not even so much like out of principle for me, like, because like my principle is you should be able to enjoy art regardless of who makes it. Like, but it's just how awful some of the shit he's saying is. It, like, just
the last thing I heard was he said that, and bear with me, of course, it's not something that I believe with, just forewarning. He said that Jews became rich in New York during a certain period because Christians would not allow people to divorce. So Jews would do the divorces, and that's how they became into riches. This is a real statement.
Yeah, and it's just like
that he said during the interview. Yeah. I don't even know
what to do anymore. It's like
I don't know what to take away from that. How do I gather this information that I just heard? What do I call him crazy? Do I see if he needs help?
You know,
is he uncurable?
I don't
think.
Ignore him? I don't think it's I don't think it's. I mean, crazy's kind of a slur, but like whatever. I don't know, man. It's like he certainly is something. Like, there's certainly something wrong, but like there's also so many. This is the crackheads on the bus. Don't don't say this kind of shit about Jewish people.
I was gonna say they make more sense than Kanye does.
Yeah,
at
no.
times.
I mean, I don't know about make more sense, but they're certainly less bigoted. Like,
Hey, look, that's a sacrifice I will take.
yeah,
But
and
I
it's
don't
just
know.
like, is that just the way it is now? I don't know, man. But it really makes me upset to even talk about, because like he's a guy who has been so instrumental. Like his output has been so instrumental for
What
like
he's
who I
done
am,
for not even just you, for what he's done for so many cultures
and
and like
for so many people.
just from the music that he makes, the clothing line that he's created, the powerful speeches that he's given in the past that are not insane. Um, you got to realize certain people like this hold certain power. They're bigger than themselves, and they need to realize that. When I look at people at like Kobe, for example, Kobe realized it's bigger than him. It's bigger than just like I am a good basketball player. I'm top whatever. Blah blah blah. I have all these statistics. Like people love me. It takes. He was able to understand that he needs to represent what it means to be a leader, both on and off the court. He's representing a whole community of basketball players. He's representing a whole community of black young males. Just so much that you need to understand you're responsible for.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely.
And Kanye has full understanding of what he means to the community or has meant or whatever. But like, it would be too much guilt. I'm sorry. It would be too much guilt on my shoulders. I haven't even had high positions. I like career wise, I've been in management positions, sure. And like that alone puts me enough in like a pressure where I'm like, okay, I need to like understand I need a certain persona. I need to display certain skills, certain actions, because people are looking up and following me. I can't imagine going from my little small town position to being like a household name, and you are willing to act this way.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. Like
It's scary.
I can't even put two and two together enough to really fathom it. It completely blows my mind, like the degree to which he is participating in this.
Man, and this might be petty to say, and I hope it doesn't come off too bad. The- If his mom was alive, and I hate when people say this, because like it's so unfair to
Yeah,
him
it's
to
very
know
unfair. Yeah.
how it's impacted him, how it. I can't even imagine what it's like to lose a mom. I can't.
Yeah, no, you're totally understand like the inherent double think about this, like not even wanting
Right.
to go entertain it.
But still, it's like I honestly think he would be different. I honestly think the way he functions, the way he thinks, the decisions that he make, just fundamentally would be so different if
Yeah.
his mom was still alive. And it really
Yeah,
sucks.
no, I really do. Because like part of it makes you think like, oh, is it the damage he had from losing his mom, or is it like him in this world without the guiding light that was his mom?
Yeah, I was about to say he's missing a big hole now,
Yeah, and
like
like
literally.
whichever it is, and I also think it's mental like health issues. I also think it's probably like some kind of ego trip to a degree. Like,
Hmm.
I think he's like a deeply contrarian person, and that's gonna inform it too.
Okay,
You know,
that's a good point.
uh, I don't know, man. Can we move on? Like,
Yes, absolutely.
yeah.
We must move on.
All right. You want to take a drive in the Movieville for a little bit?
Yeah, this is all you. I feel like you should lead this.
All right. So, Black Panther's coming out next month. Too excited. Too excited for that movie.
Very good one.
Dude, so good. I cannot wait to see that movie. Um, and I don't know if you remember, but I remember the album for the Black Panther release being a big deal
It was
because it was more
It
like
really
it was
was.
basically like a Kendrick Light album, you know.
Mhm.
It was basically
I agree.
Kendrick making like a heavily commercialized album because it's a soundtrack to a Marvel movie. Uh, but
And
goddamn,
they
was it
have the
did it had some
resources for
great
that.
songs on it.
Man, SZA was in that album.
Future's in
There was
that
so many
album.
people. There was so many people. Yeah,
It's so crazy to
Future
like.
literally is in that album.
It's so crazy to hear like to go back and re-listen to it like when that song comes in during a car chase scene and you just hear Future. It's like,
Yep.
but
Dude, this
I
was a
think it.
good album.
Yeah, it was a good album. I remember listening to it quite a bit, and the rumor is Rihanna has 2 tracks on the Black Panther album. Now, I do remember there was a time it was pretty close to the release of the movie because that tends to be, because when you have a soundtrack, you're the slave to the release schedule of the movie. The release of that project is going to be dependent on.
Mhm.
But they had announced like 3 months out from the movie, like, oh, Kendrick Lamar is putting together like a soundtrack.
Like that changes everything.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, it changes everything. And one of my favorite things is like I saw this compilation and it was because The Weeknd was on it. He had that song. He was on "Die for Me," which is like the big song in the movie.
Hmm.
And there was like a compilation. It was like 10 different interviews where someone asked Ryan Coogler, the director, like what it was like to work with Kendrick. And he answers the question, and then he tries to be like, "Yeah, I was also really excited to work with The Weeknd," and they just cut him off and move on.
Yeah, we know what we're here for.
Yeah, and it's just so funny to me. But yeah, they just haven't like announced if there's like a creative vision behind this. I don't think that's necessary, especially because like you have bigger issues with this creative project. Considering everything that's going on with Black Panther right now, and it's also like the big end to this phase of Marvel. So
This is confirmed the last one?
yeah. So this is the last thing in Phase 4.
Okay.
Uh, and then Phase 5 starts in February, where we get the villain for the next Avengers movie, which is King the Conqueror.
I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, and transition, King the Conqueror is played by Jonathan Majors, one of the most exciting actors working today. And Jonathan
Hmm.
Majors is in the new Creed movie.
And the trailer,
Do you
what are your
want?
thoughts?
First off, okay, so Rocky is a top 5 all-time movie for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is a movie franchise I have a huge amount of love for. Not every Rocky movie is good. First one, GOAT movie. Second one, good, but it's Rocky, but he wins at the end. Rocky 3, very goofy but fun. Rocky 4, very goofy but incredible. Rocky 5, we don't talk about. Rocky Balboa, pretty good. Like, and then you
Okay.
had Creed come out with Ryan Coogler, and like, to me, like the same effort we now put into like finding artists. I used to take a lot of pride in like finding filmmakers. And I remember
Hmm.
hearing about like his first movie, Fruitvale Station, and seeking it out and watching it because I was first getting politically engaged. Came out like right after the Trayvon Martin shooting, and it's about a police shooting. And I watched it and I was just like, "Fuck, that was such a good movie," even though it's like about the most awful thing that can happen to a person.
Hmm.
And then I saw that he was attached to Creed, and from the second I saw that, I'm like, "Holy
Say
shit!
it's a much see.
This movie's gonna be the next great thing, right?"
And you weren't wrong
Yeah,
at
yeah.
all.
And have you seen the Creed movies?
I've seen both the Creed movies. I have.
Okay, so what do you think about the first Creed movie?
um, both of them in general, I do enjoy both of them. I think
Yeah,
the actors they selected are great. I think the plot is very straightforward and easy to
yeah.
understand. Um,
There's
I will
also
say
yeah.
the. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go first.
I don't know. I was just gonna say like coming from me, who's like not necessarily a movie head. Like I just kind of view movies differently. I don't go as deep into the movies unless like it's like one of my favorites. So this I would view like in the past, I viewed Creed just like on the surface. I was just like, oh, is it entertaining? Is it like does it actually draw me in? Is it filmed like very nicely? Does it have a
Yeah.
lot of effects with it? The second one had a great soundtrack that came with it. The album it wasn't as good as Black Panther, I would say, but pretty darn
Yeah, it
good.
was pretty good.
Um, so like everything that comes out of it is very enjoyable, and it's a Black Rocky. So
Yeah, it
for
really
me, I'm
is.
pretty happy.
And like, it's kind of weird looking back on it and being like, "Oh, that's an innovative idea." Because like, of course, like those movies fit very easily within Black culture. You know.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, and from a very filmy perspective, I think that first one, I do think like it's a very straightforward movie, which it makes it really interesting and really fun. But I think the filmmaking behind it is incredible. Like I don't know if you remember this, but in the first movie, the fight in the middle, not the last one,
Hmm.
but the fight in the middle where it's all in one take. So
Hmm.
like the camera doesn't cut. So like not only do the actors have to go through the act of like acting out a boxing match, which like don't get me wrong, it's not as nowhere near as brutal as actually boxing, but probably just as hard.
Yeah, I was gonna say
you
it's
know?
definitely not easy. If anything, it has its own unique like challenge to it
Yeah, it's
because
no,
it's
and
scripted.
the other thing is that like you're seeing like the actors do the boxing match, right?
Hmm.
And beyond that, you also have everyone behind the camera who has to sync up. And
Oh,
like,
that's very true.
like the camera is like a part of that dance too. That like when once you start seeing it at that level, it's like shots like that
Sheesh.
are crack. It's incredible.
Hmm.
The only thing is that like that technique is also very limiting. You can't do a whole lot with it. And like if you go back, you watch that movie and you're thinking about it this way, the last fight is very quickly edited and edited superbly. I thought it was absolutely snubbed at the Oscars for an editing Oscar. But
Hmm.
yeah. And on top of that, I also think like the acting in the first one is top tier. Like Sylvester Stallone ever, doesn't have isn't known for being like this incredible actor, but he has it in him and he is incredible in the first Creed. Like Ryan Coogler pulled one of the best performances I've ever seen in my life out of Sylvester Stallone.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
and Michael B. Jordan deserved way more credit than he got. Like the way he, like the the conflict that he just wears, and like how easily he does it, all while doing these incredibly physically demanding scenes. It's
Hmm.
mind
It's
blowing.
a talent.
Yeah,
It really is.
and then
What I was gonna say, I don't know the actual fighting scene that is linked up to, but I do know like this is one of the rare examples that you get where in the moment of the acting something happens where like the actor is able to continue doing it, and like the concept of him actually taking a punch,
yeah,
like he actually had to take a punch, like for real,
yeah,
it wasn't like a
and
stunt
that
double.
was
That's
so.
impressive to me.
My favorite thing, I heard this on the behind the scenes because I'm one of those people. Uh, is so that's a tradition apparently on every Rocky set, Sylvester Stallone had to take a punch.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then so one of the things was Sylvester wanted Michael B. Jordan to live up to that tradition, but they
Oh,
didn't
that's
tell
tough.
him. uh,
That's still pretty cool though.
Now, something that I think is a double edged sword that I want to bring up to you is because the first movie, it's so intensely focused on Michael B. Jordan's character Adonis and Rocky, right?
Mm.
That the villains in it are played by actual boxers.
Huh.
They're not actors; they're boxers, right? And on one
Okay.
end, right, you have a on one end, like that gives you a layer of authenticity, right? And the other thing is that just teaching them the choreography is going to be easier, and that's really what you need them to do. Like they're not big emotional characters. They're not Thanos or Darth Vader or the guy from There Will Be Blood. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're
It just
just
needs to be
meant.
a good boxer.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. Like they just have to be an imposing threat. Uh,
Mm,
and then in the second movie, it's actually a character, and like it ties into the Rocky movies, and I think that movie is very good. Uh, I think for losing a creative genius like Ryan Coogler, they sure as shit did make a very good movie.
mm,
But the thing is, they had well, I don't think it was quite as good, and I think in this one they had an actual fighter play the villain, the Dragos kid.
mm.
And this one, because like they wanted it to be a little bit more of a personal story, they wanted like the villain to be a character. It didn't live as well. So in this one, they brought in an actor for the villain, and you might think like, oh well, that means it's going to be less physically imposing, but
Nah.
absolutely not. Like,
About to say
this
they
guy
they know how
looks
to fight.
terrifying. Like I've always said like, oh, a character I would like to play a villain in the Creed movies is Tom Hardy,
Okay.
and I'm like, this is the character I wanted Tom Hardy to play, but better. Like,
Okay.
yeah,
I mean, I did see the trailer. It seems like the route that they've been taking, at least from what you just explained from Creed 1 to Creed 2, is that it's becoming more personal. So I feel like this will feed or feel like a
yeah,
fully personalized, like this is Creed's story, not just like it's about boxing.
yeah, and that's what I like about it because the first
Oh,
one, even though it was all original characters, none of them were like legacy. It was very close in story to the first Rocky.
mm,
And the second one, it was like an original story to its credit, but like it very much pulled on the Rocky mythology because it was Drago's son and Drago's the villain from Rocky 4. I like that
mm,
this one it's not a Rocky character. It's a guy from his past. It's his story,
yep.
you know. And also just from seeing this trailer, I got to say it, RIP to the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
You thought Thanos was bad. This guy doesn't just with boxing gloves, I think could take half of the Avengers. Like I think his character in Creed could probably take out Ant-Man, Hawkeye, uh
About half the Avengers,
yeah.
basically. The ones that don't actually have powers, let's
Yeah.
be honest.
The new Black Widow, definitely. Definitely. Oh my god.
Okay, but I mean, do you know when that's coming out? Is that
March.
next year?
March, yeah.
Okay, March.
Yeah. He'll actually be in Ant-Man before this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that.
All right. And then okay, so we have I don't know if this one's going to actually be when we go to, but got another concert coming here to Chicago. Freddie Gibbs is playing at the Metro right outside my front door.
Yeah. Mary Gibbsmas for December 17th and 18th. Brandon, if you down, I'll go.
My thing is that my girl's parents are coming into town and they
Ooh,
want to
that
meet my
might be an issue.
parents.
Yeah.
And yeah.
You're gonna be far too busy.
Yeah, it's a bad weekend for me, which makes me upset because
Understandable.
I really want to see Freddie Gibbs, but I've seen my fair share of concerts this year, so like I ain't
No,
losing
yeah,
too
we've
much
been
sleep.
eating.
I'm not losing too much sleep here, but I would have liked it.
It sounds like this is something that they do often, though. At least from the post that I saw, it seemed like this was like
Yeah. Oh yeah,
something
he
that
goes to
they've
the
been doing for
Metro.
years.
He was at the Metro for this year already.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
It was like I think he was like a special guest for Lollapalooza or something. I don't know.
I mean, he's from Gary, Indiana, but I guess grew up kind of in Chicago. Or is it
Yeah,
just
I
Gary,
I
Indiana?
think he just has love for the city because like we're the closest big city.
Fair enough. I'll give it to him. Okay. Well, now I guess moving forward is just all kind of release stuff.
Yeah.
We've been blessed this year with
Yeah,
just
dude, this
we've been
is
talking already for I don't know how long about just news in general, and we still have more stuff.
yeah, no, it's a packed year.
Starting off, we kind of mentioned already last week, but Pivot Gang, the
Yeah.
Chicago group, mostly led by Saba.
Yeah.
It's
He's
coming out with
definitely
a
the
single.
ringleader. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely like the leader or the most famous at
Yeah.
least. Coming out with the single "Aang." It's already out actually.
Oh, really?
It's pretty good. Yep,
I gotta
I'm pretty
listen
sure
to
I
it.
saw it was out already. It was pretty good. I'm assuming this could be the beginning of the build up. I don't think they need a long rollout, but I could definitely see a new collab album coming out soon, considering they have their yearly thing coming up in what, like a
Yeah.
month?
Yeah, less than a month.
And then this single, I could definitely see a project coming up.
Yeah, I agree. I'm into it. I
Um,
love Saba.
yeah, I was about to say the actual album that I listened to, the like group album that they had together, it's very good, honestly. Like the other people, it woke me up to a lot of new talent that apparently was completely missing. So I highly recommend going to it. Um, but after that, we have additionally Nas is being more active. In terms of the release, he is coming out with King's Disease 3. That's supposed to be dropping next month on the 11th, a collab with Hit Boy. Um, I I don't know how I feel about Nas, if I'm being honest.
Well, unpack what that means. Tell me what you're thinking.
I don't think he has the same impact he has had
Yeah,
before. And like it's one of the I hate saying things like this because it makes me think of like Eminem. But like people will be like, "Oh, Eminem should make more music because it's not as good as it used to be." And like I understand, like it's an artist; they need to express themselves, and it's not like the music is terrible. But
yeah,
like it's a very clear, at least personally, it's a clear difference between his classics that's been years ago and like the more often stuff or more recent stuff.
yeah. Well, I have heard that I think it was King's Disease 2 that was extremely good.
I'll have to go back to it, and I'm
Yeah,
not too
no,
sure.
I agree with the prognosis you have, but it's it is absolutely he has had more recently acclaimed albums.
Mhm. It's just, and another thing that is happening more recently, he's selling some of his catalog.
Yeah,
So I'm getting mixed signals. I'm confused. You're selling your classics away, but like I don't know.
yeah. Well, the thing is, I'm beginning to think like this phenomenon of artists selling off their catalogs is just going to be like the reality now. Like this is the logical conclusion to like over commercializing art. They become assets. Then at a certain point, they become too valuable to hold on to the rights to.
Hmm. That's a very interesting thought to it because I also don't know who's actually buying these catalogs, but now pointing it out as like it's definitely in a business mindset. Yes, it's clearly an asset that's like you can just if you can sell this off for a large portion of money, both parties are going to be satisfied. Because in reality, at this point, it's a very slow moving turnaround in terms of profit. Especially if it's some of the older songs, it's not like you're still getting that much money off of it from being like on streaming, for example. And so if you sell off for a very large portion, financially, it'll be more beneficial having that money now than over time later in the future, and it may not even be as much money.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, the actual buyers of the catalog is also being benefited because like this is a actual asset. It owns like you can do things with this, for example. So if a
Yeah.
business was owning this, they can rent this out to actual commercials, the songs, give rights, things to that.
Yeah.
Much more in reality, it benefits a business for that type of long term growth than just that individual person.
Yeah.
That business is going to last longer than Nas does, respectively, like in terms of like years.
Yeah. Personally, I think that's a bad thing. Like,
Well, yeah, but it is that's what business is.
it's undeniably true.
I don't know.
Yeah. No,
I'm
I think
just
what you're saying is right. I just, I wish artists were paid more for the work they do already. That the rights, how valuable the rights were, weren't even a conversation that needed to be had.
mhm.
That's
Yeah.
my
I,
opinion.
fully agree with that. And I think that's why I'm so disgusted by it or so turned away from it. It's just the idea of someone not owning
Yeah.
who they are. It's who he is. Like this is what you spent your life doing. This is what you committed to since who knows, maybe you were 5. You woke up one day, it's like, I want to be an artist.
Yeah.
This is something you've been doing your entire life, and now it's like it's not even mine. I don't know.
I understand that. I understand that totally.
Like you would lose your identity.
I don't feel like it's that much because it's not like they can file your name off it.
That's true. That's true.
But that's kind of like my thing is that yeah, I don't think it's too bad because one, it's not like Nas is not going to be making money off his music anymore. It's not like a thing that's going to impact it creatively. But like
Mm.
it certainly does like it is just a symptom of the business side of show business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ugh. All right, you
Well,
want to talk about this? Oh, this last one, Joji and Smithereens.
yeah, he's dropping Smithereens next month on the 4th. So we have a ton of music coming up. Not even just rap now.
Yeah, no, it's
That like,
there's always I feel like a huge push around the holidays.
yeah,
There's always a
I
bunch of huge albums that release in December. And this whole year I'm like, well, what is that going to be? Because it feels like we've had big albums every single month.
I was gonna say there's so many big names that's already put their stuff out there. I'm just trying to think like who would be left.
Yeah, no, I
But anyway, um, no, yeah, that's pretty much everything.
yeah.
We've been eating like there's
It's
no simpler way to
it's
put
a
it.
lot. Some might say too much. Like Siri,
Spread it out for next year. If next year
play
sucks, I'm
Freddie
gonna be
Gibbs.
upset.
Like
I
I waited to make sure it actually wasn't playing anything because I don't want to edit out the music.
was gonna say, please don't get us fined.
Oh my god,
We are already unpaid.
so unpaid. I wish we were paid.
Eventually. Well,
Yeah,
I guess,
yeah,
well, speaking on just like money in general, that is something that I kind of want to throw in at the end. Um, because we kind of opened up reminiscing of like how we feel about the podcast, where it's at. In terms of going forward, I guess, and this might be a question for the community if anyone is actually listening to this. I want to start asking around what are the possibilities of like us becoming bigger or how to actually start
yeah. How
promoting
to
this.
execute that? Yeah, because we spent a
Right.
year building this platform, and to be honest, like we talk about the creative fulfillment we got out of doing it on its own. But
Right.
the thing is that I'm just with my own my own career. Like I gotta advocate for myself as like a talent, and it's like fuck, I
Oh,
gotta do this with a podcast too. Like
yeah, so it's trying
so,
to get an understanding, like how to get on, how to get this going, basically.
yeah. So if anyone hearing this like has thoughts on how we can grow our audience, just let us know. But just keep liking, subscribing, because either way, it's not like we're going anywhere. Like
Right.
it's just yeah, it'd be nice if we could like have more people like in our community.
Yeah, start brushing. I think we've done successful within our friends and family,
Yeah,
and like we have some consistent listeners doing
yeah.
that.
Look,
But it'd be
and
nice to start getting some more.
yeah, and so if you're like a social media guru or you know how to do it, and don't just like tell us to buy bots. Fuck off. Like,
I can buy bots if I want to. I can have someone make me bots actually.
oh well, don't do that. Like, let's get it for real.
I'm
Like,
just I'm just saying.
uh, but yeah, that's definitely the goal to take it in that direction to make this
Mm,
something we can monetize to a degree.
God, if I could quit my job and run
Yeah,
a trap house
yeah, a
like
podcast
this.
house. Yeah, and like yeah, I think like I think it's fair to say that like we eventually want to take this video. Uh, we want to take this live. Eventually, we want this to be a live show. But like I think it was important for us to be low impact at first because we wanted to build the habit of having it.
Hmm.
Now there's an obligation. I I'm not going to disclose how many listeners we have, but we have enough that I would feel bad if we just stopped doing this. Like,
Right. We can't just hang this up.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
You want to call it this week, my guy?
yep. It's been a long week. Let's get the recommendations now.
Let's get the recommendations on. You want to go first?
But I can go first.
Uh,
This is I'm gonna start off with No Name. First gonna do No Name. I've been listening to her discography again. It's actually not that long. I don't know why I thought she had a ton of albums out, but man, is she talented.
she's super
It
talented. I
was,
love No Name.
man, a breath of fresh air, straight out of Chicago, getting that like impact. It really did take me back to like, of course, the albums that she made aren't exactly like Acid Rap or in the same fashion or concept, but just like the music that comes into it, the different kind of instruments, it's very
Yeah.
refreshing getting that back.
Well, she's on acid
But
rap.
yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Um, and so what I'm gonna do, her song Freedom, it's actually an interlude. I love a good interlude. And
Yeah.
so the song Freedom, it's a little bit over like the standard like minute interlude, but it's very, very nice for its own song. So
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
What's your
So
first one?
I'm mostly listening to comfort music this week, but I did make sure I haven't recommended these before. But so my first one, it's basketball season now. So I'm going to
Yes,
recommend
sir.
the most basketball song that's ever been released, and that is "Forever," featuring with Drake, Lil Wayne, the one we don't talk about, and Eminem. Like,
That is a banger of a
that
song.
is
Jesus.
the most basketball song. Like, if you hold your hands out and listen to that, a basketball will appear.
Isn't that the actual song? Now that I think about it,
I think
that's
it
just
is
like,
like like it was tied to a LeBron James documentary. Like,
yep. So yeah. Speaking of which, man, am I happy for basketball to be back? Jesus
yeah,
Christ, I
good
love
game
it.
last night.
We got the first dub.
DeMar put up
Everything,
mad points.
man, it's going great. Like the betting season's back on. I think I'm up like 150 in total. Brandon, we're eating this year.
Send me twenty
We're
five
gonna be
dollars.
eating this year.
Like, yeah, but yeah,
Huh.
that's my first pick.
All right, but my second one then going on to another very impactful young black female artist, Tierra Whack.
Ooh,
I'm gonna
love
do
Tierra
Hungry
Whack.
Hippo. That concept of that album where like every song is a minute only and it cuts off like mid song. God, all of them are so hard and it's such an interesting concept. It's so dope. It's only 17 minutes, I think. But the song Hungry Hippo is just like it's a banger. She's so talented.
Yeah, no, that's good. I agree.
All right, what's your second one?
Okay, so my second one, I'm gonna go with a heavy metal song, and I'm gonna recommend "Aerials" by System of the Down.
Okay.
Yeah, "Aerials" is a 3.5 minute song. It is the last song on their one of the best metal albums of the 21st century because it came out in like 2000. Toxicity. And when I talk about meaning, like dense with meaning, this song is it. This song I would put up there, like in terms of just like a pure expression of just like ideas and a time and place. I put it up there with Nights. That's the song
Wow.
for comparison I go to is Nights.
Okay.
And low key,
That's
I
a
I
big
think
time.
it's a song that you could redo in like a low key R&B kind of way. Uh,
Okay.
because it's all about letting go of your ego, understanding your place in the world, and it's only 3.5 minutes long. Like it's not a particularly long song. Like the lyrics, as deep as they aren't very complicated.
Hmm.
It reads like poetry. It's also like I would be very interested to hear what you think about this song.
But I
Yeah,
mean, if you're comparing it to that, it has to be good. So I'll definitely
yeah.
dive into it.
Now, once again, I might be biased because, well, one, it's an incredible closing song on an incredible album.
Hmm.
But on the other hand, like it's been one of my favorite songs since I was 13. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. But I'll definitely check it out. Um, my last one then will be a song by Nardo Rick called "All Right." I believe he was in our freshman XXL. And he's supposed to be kind of like a new coming up trap artist like Future.
yeah,
It actually held up. I listened to his album. It's pretty good. It was at least 4 or 5 songs that I took away. It was like, okay, this is like actual like very quality talent. Like this is good music. And the
interesting,
song "All Right"
interesting.
definitely stood out to me.
All right, I'll have to listen to that.
But
All right,
what's your last one? Let's close it out.
my last one is a fun one. It is people call it Blog House because like it's made by artsy white people, but I just think that it's some of the most fun songs ever by Chromeo. Fancy Footwork.
Okay.
It's a
Fancy
fun little
foot.
dance song. It's also in an episode of Community. So I watched an episode of Community this weekend. I heard this song in the
Mm-hmm.
background, and I'm like, "Oh, guess what I'm listening to?" Like,
I'm just looking it up right now. Okay, but I'm gonna
yeah,
keep this safe.
yeah,
Fancy football recruitment. Oh, speaking of that, by the way, aren't they coming out with a movie soon?
yeah. They are.
I
Uh,
was about to say I'm pretty sure we've discussed this.
I'm. Oh God, I'm still shaking off that episode from last week, and I've watched a lot of Community. It's just the best show.
Don't disagree. It is a great show.
Yeah.
Uh, what I would say then, speaking of just well, jumping off the community, have you listened to or have you watched and caught up on Atlanta?
No, I've not caught up on Atlanta. I'm going to be doing that, if not this week, next.
Bro, I need your reaction to season. No, the not the newest one, the one before that, the newest completed season.
You know what's interesting? I've
What's
heard
up?
a lot of people say uh, that the fourth season is so good that they wonder if the third season was bad on purpose.
No,
I
that's too like big brain.
no,
No, there's no way.
I do not think that that is at all what happens, but that is the genuine reaction I've heard. Like,
Wow. And if anybody to do something like that,
it's
it'll be
Donald.
him. It'll
He's
be
he's
him.
a shisty one.
That's crazy now that you say that because I haven't seen season 4. Like I finished season 3, I think a month or so ago,
Yeah, I remember you
and
telling me you
like
didn't like it that much.
it was just it was entertaining enough to like keep me going. And like I love the series, but like there's so many moments where you legit are just sitting there like why?
Yeah,
Like genuinely just like why? Like what does this even mean?
yeah,
It's either too deep or like so random.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I'll let it go.
All right, my friend. We're gonna cut it off, but yeah, let's end the show.
Yeah, we made it.